Now, this is a video I've thought about making for a few weeks now. Like, I remember last week, the week before, thinking maybe I should make a video speaking about this just to see what other people think. And I know the subject I'm about to talk about is there's a very passionate fan base that support these fighters and where they're from, and rightly so. Everyone's personal preference of who they follow, who they choose to support, who they respect more, who they think could take the sport of MMA, mixed martial arts, and the purest form of combat to the next level. And I know I'm going to get stick for this. I know I'm going to get hated for this, but I have to be honest. I have to speak my mind, and I have to be truthful. I have to be real when it comes to the situations in terms of the Dagestani fighters and the way they're killing the sport, essentially. And I know that's a really strong thing to say, very, very like, oh right, okay. I feel like they're completely fake. I feel like they're not humble. I feel like all their fans assume they're humble, and Allah, God gives me everything. They're not humble fighters at all. I truly think they're not humble in the slightest. I truly think they are actually quite spiteful, quite they torment people a little bit, and they have like their little digs. And right enough, I'm one of those people that loves when people talk shit to each other, because it just makes the fights better to watch, even if it's two unknown guys. If you know they fucking absolutely hate each other, it just makes a fight more entertaining. I'm gonna say this. Khabib. Oh, saying to like Dustin Poirier, oh, what about my 26 fight win streak, 27 fight win streak and all this, when it was their press conference. And it's like, mate, you have exhibition fights on your pro record. You have decision wins after only going 2 rounds. That's not real fights. You're actually only 17-0. Or is it 24-0? Only 24-0. Something like that. And even the stuff like he's probably realistically, judging from opponents, I'd say Khabib is maybe 15-0, 14-0, judging on like opponents that actually had put up could challenge him a bit. He would fight on his father's shows, and he would get given opponents like that were like 5-20, stuff like this, and it was record padded him a little bit, And I just don't. That's not what MMA is about. He's wrongly representing it. He had a very good little win streak at the end. Gaethje, Poirier, McGregor. Apart from that, who did he fight? Alec Quinta for the belt. Who else did he fight? He's not the greatest of all time, and he's far from it. You know what I mean? I feel like Oliveira defended the belt 3-4 times in the space of 11 months. Khabib did it in 3 years, was it? 2.5 years? I get personal circumstances play into it, but like when you put it like that, I think Oliveira's legacy, the fact that and the way he was winning as well, knocking Gaethje down, submitting him, knocking Michael Chandler out, knocking Poirier down and submitting him. I don't know, I think I'm incorrect when I say knocking him down. He didn't knock him down. Islam Makhachev, honestly, he doesn't claim to be humble, right? But it's the fans saying, in every comment section, Islam's humble, he works hard. Mate, he works so fucking hard. He works hard. He says this, he's like this. It's like, then in the Instagram post, like, short guy, all this and that. Volk's not saying anything like that. Volk responded being like, oh, look, your face is on my knee. Something like that. It's just the fan bases, and then it's really killing the sport. They're not humble at all. It's killing the sport. The boring performances, they're going to go out there and wrestle, and if it's not competitive, it's just going to be a decision or like a late submission. Or Mohammed Makayev, whatever his name is, he trains in Manchester, right? trains out of Manchester. He's got a bit of a personality on him. He's really young. He's in the UFC. That's interesting enough. However, he's not humble. He doesn't pretend to be humble. The fan bases don't say he's humble. You know, it just pisses me off how fan bases... I mean, it's like the Adesanya fan base who go on about Israel Adesanya. And it's like, mate, there's a few things you could see about him that are just a bit not quite right. And it's a bit weird. And it's a bit like, all right, okay, please just come out now, brother. I can't even describe this to you. I can't even... What's your thoughts? Why are they pretending to be humble? Why is the fan base pretending to be humble? I'm not saying they don't work hard. This is what the comments are going to be like. Oh, you're saying that Khabib and all this doesn't work hard. No. Bilal Muhammad goes into their camp and all of a sudden he's finishing people. Sean Brady, an undefeated fighter. And yes, as soon as Sean Brady became the nail, he crumbled and he broke. But they work extremely hard. They're not humble though. I'm not saying they don't work hard. They're just really not humble. And the fan bases, man. Oh Allah, Khabib, you know, so humble, brother. Where's the personality? It's really killing the sport, and the sport will die out in the next few years. I feel like it's been taken over by just loads of Dagestani fighters. And it's like, yes, they're like a little nation, build really good fighters, and they can be high-level combatants, and that's what the UFC is all about. But then me making these videos one day, I might not get 50 views anymore, or 25 views. I might get 3, I might get 4. Because MMA dies out. I might have to just cover Jake Paul boxing, because that seems to what does well. Or I might just have to make another video slagging off Francis Ngannou for 10 minutes. I'm just worried. I'm really worried the sport is dying out due to these Dagestanis. And if Volk beats Makhachev, and then Ankalaev gets finished off, then Makhachev comes back maybe against Dariush or an Oliveira rematch, and then he loses again. You know, there's promise. There's promise. The Merab, oh mate, Merab is such a little dick right there. I fucking hate Merab. Oh yeah, I'm going to fight all these top guys and earn myself a title shot, but I'm just going to take up #1 contender and not have the division fight for a title. Because my best friend's like the champion of the world. It's like, mate, fair enough, you don't want to fight your best mate, but like, come on. Don't fight in the UFC then. Don't fight the top guys. Let the top guys have entertaining fights. You're literally ruining careers. Do you want to know how? This is another thing that's really killing the sport, this type of thing. Merab, boring personality, boring fighting style. Let's say he fights Sean O'Malley, an exciting fun fighter. Holds Sean O'Malley against the cage, like kind of just grinds him out. Sean O'Malley's stock lowers. Merab stays the same, you know, he's just held him against the cage, whatever. Takes away from O'Malley's star power. But whereas if O'Malley was to fight Vera or Jan again, that's an exciting fun fight. It'll be a good fight, you know, everybody's the division wins. Merab beats the top star, the division loses, and then the division loses again because Merab is boring as fuck. Makhachev's a monster. Islam Makhachev, I think, is more athletic than Khabib. He's not as tough as Khabib, though, I don't think. I think he's quite athletic, though. He's got good squeeze on him. Like, I think he's better at finding the takedown. I also think he's a much better stand up on the feet. What do you think? Are they killing the sport? And I'm not disrespecting them here. Like, I'm really not disrespecting them because they've done things I will never do in my entire lifetime. In terms of how hard they train, in terms of their work ethic, their upbringing, everything. Let me know what you think, please. Comment your thoughts. I'd really appreciate to hear it. They're not humble, though. They're killing the sport. If you want to argue it, I'd happy argue it with you in the comments. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate all the support, regardless of what you think of my opinions and my views. And, yeah, see you all very soon.